Hello and welcome to Stroke by Stroke. Today I am doing an image that one of you folks has requested that I do this image, and so I don't have any ink in my printer, so I can't print the image. So I have already blocked out the rough shapes here so that I can remember what it looks like. So this is my mineral paper, and I took a little bit of liberty with the composition. There was a little bit more that goes that way, but I am focusing on this X sort of composition. So let's just see what happens. I am using the size 12 round brush, and I'm going to start here with the Morphosis White Knights TRI granulating watercolors. So and don't forget that I don't do things 100% representationally, so I am taking some liberties here. But I think you're going to see a relationship between the image, which is on the screen now, and what I've painted. So, of course, there is a hair. There's always a hair. It's because I require multiple kitty cats in my life and a dog. All of those things are going to give me hair on my art. This is also the first time I've tried to do anything that's even remotely representational on this paper too. So, but I'm very grateful for the suggestion and the reference image. My friend who did this is actually the same person who created the logo for Stroke by Stroke. And they are also a photographer. So lots of interesting possibilities here. And I'm going to use some of both the Xfinity or Artfinity liquid watercolors. I'm going to use both primary yellow and indigo. And in order to avoid mud, I am not going to add the magenta into this image. So. And I'm just mixing on the mineral paper. And I have leveled it using old paper towels and stuff. So hopefully it will stay. And so far it's not running to the corner like it has in the last couple videos. So this is a wonderful thing, actually. So at this point, I am happy with the grass, the leaves, the trees. I'll get there. I'm actually dealing with both pain and depression today, and so that actually makes my aphasia worse than usual. So yeah, it's really not a great day in Bethville, but we are still persevering. So I find that making art makes me feel better, so I'm doing that. So yeah. And there is, in all his glory, oh, Walter. All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to let this dry. I am actually quitting. I really am this time. I know I have a very bad way of starting again when I quit, but nope. I am just gonna walk away. I'm okay with it. That was actually really fun. So the image is dry now, and I used my hair dryer. I love getting these kinds of things from using the hair dryer. And then I used a paper towel to make this texture, and I actually really like that. So let's see if I can. I love the texture that I get when I spritz water on the mineral paper. I just find that to be gorgeous. Something. I can't say it, but. And now I'm going to come back in here with my watercolors. And I'm going to lay in some more of this. I want to get more of that glorious crinkly texture, kind of like over here. And I love how it bled into the sky and down into the lake. I'm just coming in here and doing a little bit of cleanup. And I'm going to use my hairdryer here a little bit. I love how I can paint basically with the hairdryer. I think that's a really neat thing. I'm going to use a clean paper towel now. And let's see if it's dry enough to leave a texture. Yes. What a great way to get lots of interesting textures going. So yeah, I have changed the composition quite a bit from the original, but I am so happy with what I have. And now I'm going to come in here with, what am I going to use? This is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use some sepia pens. I'll get to the word someday. Okay, and let's see here. We have an S, we have an F, and we have a B. And I'm assuming the B would be a brush. Yes. And I remembered correctly. Now I'm going to come in here with a liner and see. Yes, it's doing exactly what I was hoping it would. So it's actually going to blend some. Good. And at this point I am leaving the original image behind in my mind and just going with what this is showing me, which is something I always seem to do. It's pretty interesting. Doing art all the time is helping me really understand what style I have and what I want to grow and what I don't like so well. So the more you do art, the better, honestly. You will become technically better, possibly, most likely. But you will also develop something that you, and only you, really enjoy, that basically makes art that, you know, is interesting. It's very easy to make boring art. And that is such a, you know, in the eye of the beholder kind of thing too, because what I consider to be beautiful might not be what you consider to be pleasing or beautiful or interesting. That is 100% a personal choice, really. And I love that, you know? If I do something and it doesn't work out, my relationship with disappointment, embarrassment, shame, yes, I do feel those things, but honestly not about my art. Art is the safe space for me, where I can explore those feelings in a much less judgmental way with myself. And I think there's incredible power in that understanding. And believe me, it did not happen overnight. Of course, there have been times when I thought I was terrible, but then I kind of changed my relationship with what that even means, honestly. If I learn something from something that I do, then, in my opinion, that's a success, not something that I consider to be mortifying or a waste of my time. Believe me, after all of my health issues, I am well aware that any moment could be my last. So that's actually very freeing in a way. And not in a morbid kind of way, which is really odd to me in a lot of ways. But in more of a, you know, I've lived a great life, and I'm not riddled with regrets. And I honestly think that is the key to finding even a little bit of happiness when nothing that I planned, the life I had planned, I had carefully curated and gotten myself to, just absolutely fell apart when I got sick and I was unable to work, and I wasn't in a very good space. Wasn't really, I thought I had a better marriage than I did. Lots of things became quite clear very quickly in my world. But accepting those things, now that was a very different animal. So, yeah, if something doesn't work out, okay, didn't work out. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. It also doesn't mean that I'm gonna beat myself up. I got plenty of other stuff to beat myself up about. My art. That is pretty much nothing for me. And, you know, that seems weird, I'm sure, but it comes back to, what are my goals? Why am I doing this art? Why did I make this channel? And the answer is simply to make meaning and purpose for myself, and to share that, and maybe help others understand that it's okay to not be okay, and you can make ugly art. You know, it's okay. If you enjoyed making it, that's really the win right there. At least in my opinion. Because my aphasia has gotten better as I have worked on trying to find a better way to deal with all of the stuff, honestly. And knowing that this project gives me a reason. It's almost like I have a job again. And that job gives me a reason to do things, because, you know, I'm in pain today. I'm depressed, and it would be super easy to just completely start bed rotting when I get like this. And I will be going back to bed later. Absolutely. because, yeah, I don't feel good. My house is a mess, and I'm okay with it. I mean, yes, it bothers me, but I'll change that. Just not right now. Don't have the spoons. Spoon theory is where, I can't remember the person who created it, but it's really helpful. Basically, it says, and I believe that it was something created to help people who are neurodivergent, with things like ADHD, autism, that sort of thing, maybe a traumatic brain injury, a stroke, things like that. Anyway, anything that's challenging, according to yeah, I'm so much better with the aphasia. According to spoon theory, every day you wake up with a certain number of spoons. Yay! And then everything you do actually takes spoons. You know, how many spoons does it take to take a shower? How many spoons does it take to play with the dog? How many spoons are left? Do I have enough spoons, enough energy, enough fill in the blank to be able to do that thing, or am I going to pay? Am I going to end up owing spoons? And it's become a great way for me to help myself accept that just because I could do it yesterday doesn't mean that I can or should do it today. And finding peace in that space is a really big deal. Or it is for me. So, yeah. And back on the and back on the idea of spoons, there are things that actually help me find more spoons in a day. And so that is super helpful. So for example, making these videos actually gives me spoons, because I was so lost when I was unable to work, and you know, just everything I had ever known, everything I ever thought I was going to be, was suddenly unavailable to me. And this video, this channel, making these videos, has given me a reason to wake up, quite frankly. It's helped with the SI, suicidal ideation, I used to have. So, yeah, you know, it's very much a good thing for me. And knowing that you guys care, that you've taken the time to watch the videos, you've commented, you've liked, you've, you know, subscribed, whatever. Once again, I'd be doing this even if, you know, the only person watching is my best friend. or even just me, because I'm worth it. You know? I'm worth doing this to heal myself and to give myself this really beautiful sense of connection. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I've been so blessed by all of you folks, by my friends, by, you know, just, I've had a wonderful, full life. And I feel like it's back. So, all right, I'm gonna dry this and then we can take a picture, you know, look around the picture and be done with today, you know, or at least this portion of today. And I'm gonna add something that has nothing to do with the reference photo, because I just really want to do this. Having a little hidden bling. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Maybe these are just fireflies. When I lived in New Mexico, I really did miss fireflies because it's dry. So without humidity, you're not going to have fireflies, lightning bugs, whatever you want to call them. But we do have them in Indiana a little bit. They're, unfortunately, the climate or something has changed and they're not as many as there used to be. And that makes me kind of sad because they're just magical. And we need as much magic as we can get in this world to make things feel beautiful. Like a little galaxy up in the corner. And my friend who took this photo will probably appreciate that. I'm gonna call this piece finished, and thank you for joining me. This has been Stroke by Stroke. Do what makes you happy, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care.